Shalom Uvracha. I hope things are well, people are good, you're doing well and happy, Bezrat Hashem. Wanted to share some of new wisdom and deep understandings I enjoy from. And like I told you many times, the real main way for a person to learn is with the intention to teach. Like that we're saying in the prayer, לשמוע, ללמוד וללמד, לשמור ולעשות ולקיים. את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה. So, לשמוע is to listen, ללמוד is to learn, וללמד is to teach, לשמור is to keep, ולעשות it's to do, ולקיים is to make sure that it will exist, that it will be maintained, to maintain. את כל דברי תלמוד תורתך באהבה. All the words of your Torah, of your wisdom, with love. So it means that the intention of a person should be to share and to reveal and to let other people enjoy from the wisdom that he is being exposed to by Hashem, by God. Okay, so Bezrat Hashem, I wrote it down for myself in a text in Hebrew, and I'm gonna translate and share it with you. I would rather to speak with you like that, like with my eyes to the camera, for you to be, it's for me to be like closer to you and that it will feel more as a conversation. But sometimes when I get some knowledge, sometimes I'm able to just speak it and just say it, and sometimes it's hard for me to hold all the details in my mind and just to talk about it from my heart, and I need to bring it down from a page, from a paper. So Bezrat Hashem, I'm gonna start, and hopefully we all gonna learn and develop Bezrat Hashem. So first of all, about our world. We're talking many times about the fact that our world is an eternal world, and the purpose and reason for this topic to be discussed so many times by me with you guys is because that is the real wisdom that is being revealed for us in the last generation, in those steps, in that path of development of spiritual growth toward its completion / the complete redemption. And because that in the days of redemption, the knowledge and wisdom will take over the world, and the ability to know God and to understand Him and who He is will be the redemption. The fact that we will go out of our individuality, our world of constrictions and limits, that will be the salvation of the individuals and the general redemption of the whole world, to get to a certain point that we will discuss today. So I'm trying, it's like when you want to feed someone that was hungry for a long time, so you can only give him a small portion every time. You cannot like throw everything at him, so because it might hurt him, it can be overwhelming, too much. So exactly like that, the teachings and learnings must come down in stages and in portions for us to be able, with time, to get all the knowledge into our vessels, and not all in one shot, and most of it will spill to the sides. So the world is a perfection and connection of all life particles who exist in the creation. And every part of them, every cell in the creation, is eternal. and is connected in a perfect way from every angle of it to another side in the creation. And there is no part that will be separated, not physically, realistically, and not in a spiritual way from the rest of the world. Let's say this computer, let's say an apple, that apple has many attachments to the world. It's a food of someone. It was growing on a certain branch in a certain field from a certain in a certain landscape, and it has its history. And also in reality, in a physical perspective, you can understand that smell of that apple will spread and will affect the surroundings of that apple, and its look will affect other people, and people might buy it and eat it and whatever. And also physically, if you're gonna go and get into with a microscope to the peel, to the layers of that fruit, you will see and understand that it's also attached to many other life forms in the reality of the world, and built in a way that he is a part of a whole network of a spider web of attachments, that every cell and particle in the creation is not separate, just seems separate because of his difference in colors and in thickness and in smell and different qualities, speed of the atoms that are running inside of it, but actually is part of one spiritual materia, the unity of Hashem, of God, that is being reflected in our world. And when something happens in this world, good or bad, God forbid, that thing happens in all the worlds in the same time, not only in our world, also in the rest of the worlds that exist. And the world is a mirror that is showing and reflecting the existence of life, the present eternal time that is taking place right now. For an example, if now a door has been slammed in your house, or a vessel fell to the ground and broke, or in a different way, for an example, you heard the good news, or an order that you ordered some book or a precious thing for you or for your family just arrived into the house and you're all happy about it. That thing that happens now doesn't happen only in your house, in your environment, to you right now. This is something that happens in the world. It means that it's an outcome of a certain decree, of a certain decision that took place in heaven's court and found a certain shape, a certain way of expression in your individual life as well. In the same time, another thousands on thousands of doors being slammed. Packages came to different houses as well. Other parents in different houses enjoyed a certain good news, or a vessel fell to the ground and break. Those things that are taking place are part of a general action that is taking place in the whole world in the same time when it takes place and dress itself in the shape that it does in your place. The complete point of view, who sees all the aspects and gives life and existing all the worlds, is the eyesight, is the perspective of the Creator. And when something happens in the world, it happens in the same time in all the reflections, and also in the Bible, also in all the states, like we just said, in all the faces, in all the angles, in all the aspects of the Creator's wisdom reflection. And all of that is happening in as a result of his loving kindness. So for an example, if now something happened to you, you can find that also in other particles of your life. You can see that reflection in other aspects of your life as well. You can see that wisdom also in the Bible. You can see that also on your body, in your health. You can hear that also in the conversations that are surrounding you. The same thing that happens in every moment is a reflection of His grace and His mercy and His loving kindness on us. And of course, we need to explain and to understand how come challenges and difficulties will reflect His kindness as well, but that's maybe a conversation for another time. But as of now, we're talking about the nature, the structure of this world. And that thing is something that is very hard for people like us to grab and to understand, because we live down here in the lower worlds of action. And we are, because of our existence, the fact that we are here in this physical world, we are so disconnected from the creation in our mind that we experiencing our individual life that are disconnected from our environment, and we are experiencing an inner experience that is private and is not exposed to all the rest of the details. And this is what that goes on in our lives, that many times we're not aware to our surroundings. We don't feel, we don't sense the fact that our life are attached to other people's life, to other layers of this creation. And we live our lives as individuals because our souls are disconnected from the real nature of their spiritualism. They're spiritual and they're united in their roots with the creation, and they are above everything and contain and hovers above time and above space. But we as individuals that are vehicles that traps a portion of soul within, we're experiencing life from an external point of view, and therefore we're not able to see the complete picture and the whole variety and all the angles of the creation. And we are suffering from that greatly, because as souls that are trapped in bodies, we're not able to travel freely in the world, and we have limitations and all kinds um, of um, of 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 um, of borders of to our ability to travel and to feel and to sense and to see um, beyond space and beyond time. And the body is suffering and going through great difficulties that been created with time. And the world that we're experiencing right now, with all its difficulties and limitations, is a result of something ancient that took place in the beginning of time. Now, first of all, to understand that is very simple. There is a soul, and the soul is the ancient soul of Adam and Eve. And that soul of Adam and Eve came into a physical body, and those bodies held the godly portion of God inside of it. And since that moment that the soul came into the body, the soul been trapped in the body and cannot see beyond the reach of those filters of physicality who are blocking its ability to go above time and to experience the world from a spiritual angle. Now, we as individuals are suffering from it, but the fact that we're suffering from it doesn't make it the only reality that exists. Really, we are also connected to the Sea of Souls, to infinity, to eternity itself, to the Creator, and in the roots of who we are, in the roots of our soul, we are one with Hashem, with the Creator, who sees all the aspects from all the angles, in all the depths of it, in every moment and moment of time in an eternal way. Means that he, the Creator, does not suffer from the limitation of time except for the time that he spends with us in our temporary world as we feel and sense it. But in the same time that he is with us in that current time that we are at, he is also with all the rest of creations in their time experiencing what they experience in an eternal way. And therefore, for him, time does not exist at all. And only we are experiencing time, and therefore we're suffering. And our suffering is taking place because of that feeling of time that is divided and separated from all the rest of time pieces. But also, we need to remember that that dimension of above time exists, and that time that is above time will take place in our lives in the day of redemption. It means that today we're part of a temporary um, path. There is a certain road that takes a certain time, but when that time will finish and up, we will get to that point that we will understand that the dimension of time was only a temporary constriction that we experienced, a temporary limitation that was holding us back from seeing and grasping and understanding the complete picture. And when we're gonna get to that time, they're gonna come an end to all sufferings as well. Because when we're gonna reach that moment of redemption, of salvation, in our hearts will be opened a huge window to understand and to get wiser and to see things clearly. How every detail in the life of the individual are part of a greater story that connects every detail and detail in the life of the person to all the rest of the details of creation. And it's going to reveal a whole long list of secrets and hidden knowledge and information that will reveal a purpose and a reason for every detail in our lives, and we're going to recognize the reason for every occasion and situation that we faced in our life. Every individual on his own, and a general complete perfection of history that took place in the creation, because the creation is a creation. The creation itself is a creation. It's not that you are a creation inside creation. No, me, I am a person and I live here and let's see what I can do. No, you are part of something that is greater than you. You are a figure in a picture with billions of figures. And it's true that you're experiencing your life in a beautiful and individual way, but in the same time, you're also one note in a whole perfect symphony that is being heard by millions. So you can be that note, you can be that voice, you can be that shine, you can be that light, but in the same time you're also part of a real large harmony that is way more perfect and complete than what you experience as a tiny individual in a world that is much greater than we can imagine. And the world is round like a ball, it's a star that has time and has place. And on that place, things are taking place all the time in every world, in all the layers. And it happens with all the nations, with all the people. Each and every one of us in his root, though, is a correct and fixed portion of godliness, is a holy soul that started its journey in the soul of Adam and Eve in the ancient Garden of Eden. And that place, the Garden of Eden, was the real place. Over there, reality took place as well above time. And in the redemption day, we will find ourselves back in that dimension. Like that the world is round, when we will finish correcting ourselves, we will get back to the starting point, to the beginning of time that started before of time. The decision to create time was a decision that took place before of time. And when we're going to finish our time here, we will get to that place that will be above time again. And that temporary experience will just blow away and disappear from the world. So all that process of exile and giving birth and all the complex, um, how you say that? Complicity? Complex situations of our lives on earth, the struggles that we have with physicality and the emotional struggles with our wounded spirit will bring us after time to a place of complete healing and deep understanding, like a wine that gets better with time. I'm continuing, okay? Do you have the mindset and the power to keep on flying with me in those worlds of redemption of mine? Something very important is to mention that in that day of redemption that all of us are going to enjoy and have a lot of fun, so all the creations of all the worlds, and when we're saying all the worlds, we're not talking about UFOs that are coming from different planets. We're talking about, um, we're talking like now is this world, okay? That's our world, but now it's a different world, right? Because God forbid someone just made a car accident and someone else just made $1 million and a child just came out to the world right now and someone else just passed away. It's a different world now than now. Every moment is a new world, is a redesigned creation that the final one is the outcome of the premier one, of the earlier one. And everyone is the outcome and the next stage in a path of development from one to the next. Now, in the day of redemption, all the worlds will be fixed, not only our time. When we're going to rise in the present time of finishing that process of time and we're going to experience the redemption will hit waves to all the time spots that took place before. Means that all the worlds will be fixed. Means that there's going to be a new judgment. Let's break that temporary world of time of 6,000 years of creation to snapshots, okay? And let's cut it to worlds. Billions and billions of snapshots of moments of time. Every one of them is a world. And you or your ancestors or people in every generation, and also the animals and the trees and the wind, were and still and will experience the world in an eternal way. And like that we explained, also the physical nature and structure of the creation are showing and reflecting the endless aspect of it, the nature of its creation to be eternal. That the computer attached to the table and it will be part of one thing when a picture will snapshot that angle, and my pen and the keyboard and the mouse that I'm using and the text, and it's all one, and also in deeper layers, and we don't need to go back to all of that because we already experienced that wisdom when I explained it earlier. So every particle, even though is individual and separated from the rest of the world in its sight, in how that it looks to our physical eyes, really is built from one spirit of godliness that composed and complete and built its all as one eternal unit. And there is no separation except for in our mind that is broken, that grasp things in a twisted and bent way in a world of illusions, a world of lie that suffers from dividings and separations. But really, above that dimension of delusionary time and space, every moment of time is eternal. And when the redemption will take place, so the redemption will go back to heal and to fix every moment that took place in time, and not only the that moment of redemption, that generation that really finally made it and brought down the light of redemption to the world. When we're gonna make it and the sky will be opened and the bounty will come down, all those screens of separation, all those layers who are blocking us from seeing the complete picture from that godly point of view, to see it all as one, will fall and break down to the ground. And we will see all the rest of the times at once. And we will see all the rest of the generations, because they will not be in a different generation, because time limit will not limit us anymore. We will be able to walk and to be part of the rest of the worlds and to see them in their time of redemption at once, in the same time. And every moment will be redeemed in a way that every person and every creation will be judged individually to see if he's worthy to be redeemed, if he's supposed to be redeemed, or that he needs to be punished and to go down to pay for his sin. And therefore, every good deed that your soul ever did in any lifetime, in every moment, will be redeemed by the mercy and kindness of the Creator. And that will be your share in the world to come. Because when those screens of separations, listen to that because it's deep and important. When those screens of separations will fall, you'll be able to experience yourself, your soul, in all the times that took place in the past as well. And in every one of those moments in time that you did something, that based on that thing that you did, the Creator will bless you with the merit to be redeemed, you will experience the redemption of that moment in time, of yourself in that moment in time, in the same time with all the rest of the moments that you have been redeemed in. So, corresponding to the amount of good deeds and actions that you kept as a soul in this world since the early beginning of being a soul that was part as a spark in Adam and Eve's body, since that moment until the moment of redemption, all the moments that you lived in them, that you were alive in them, that you were good in them, will be redeemed. And that will be your inherit, your reward to the world to come. The world to come is an eternal world. It will be seen to your eyes in an eternal way. That's eternity. That's infinity. And all the worlds together gonna experience it when it's gonna happen. And we're all gonna see the greatness of God. The redemption will be the redemption of the whole world. The correction of all the bodies and all the souls. Redemption to all the feelings. Perfection of the of the perfection of all the dreams coming true in every moment of every creation, of every man and animal. Every flower will bloom forever. Every button on every shirt will shine. Every street will be clean. All the vehicles will be perfect, and like every aspect of life will be correct. All the worlds and every person will enjoy the answer to his dreams and to his prayers, because every moment will experience the redemption. So there's going to be a redemption to all the moments of your desires. It means that a person will be redeemed in millions of aspects. He will experience redemption in every moment that he was trapped in the past in a temporary existence that was under the limitation of time and space. Because we're going to rise to a place that is above time and above place, and also to a dimension of kindness to be revealed and to heal and fix every dark spot from the past. It's a very big thing. It's a great, great thing. And that is the resurrection of the dead as well. That by the goodwill of heaven, in that time that the Creator will accept our prayers and will give life to everyone, and kindness will fill the world, also the people who are dead to us in our eyes, why they are dead? They're not really dead. They're dead to us. For us, they're dead because they died, because they disappeared. But in that aspect, that life are eternal, they are alive in the time that they were alive. And when there will be time no more, when there will not be time anymore, when there will be no time anymore, when time will not be in the equation anymore, so then all lives will take place in the same place, and we will not suffer under its limitation anymore. And that's going to be the resurrection of the dead, that we will be able to meet ourselves in different bodies, and we will be able to meet all the sages and all the righteous ones and all the mothers and all the fathers and all the children, and to see billions and billions of squirrels and birds and flies and butterflies and fish jumping all over the universe. And we will be above place. Like to see all those amazing videos, National Geographic's videos, and all those amazing high angle point of views and videos, like um, who is showing you things from different aspect, from different angle. All those things will be seen to our eyes in the day of redemption. And that day of redemption will not be one day. It's going to take us to 1,000 years of salvation, of redemption. that after those 1000 years of redemption, we're going to cross to an eternal world, and death will not be a part of this creation anymore from day of redemption and on. Life will take place and will exist in the same beautiful way that we explained it so many times, thank God, until now, in an eternal way. And we're not going to die, and we're going to just live forever. And we will live forever in that aspect that we will be exposed to foreverness, to eternity, to endless, to that infinite, infinite light of the source of life, of the Creator Himself, the Blessed One. Hashem should bless you. Hashem should bless you all. Hashem should bless you all. Hashem should bless us all. Well, I'm doing as much as I can. I'm trying to send the wisdom on the waves of the water for the healing and success of everyone. Please help us and support our project. Please assist us with sharing this content among your friends. You can visit our website, emuna.com, emuna with an H in the end, emuna with H, that we will not forget Hashem, and share that wisdom with everyone you know, with everyone you care, that you want him to succeed. Remember the goodness that you experienced from those videos, and just give them as sweets and potions to those ones who really needs it. And that's it. Let's move forward and continue, get stronger in every step of the way, and we're gonna make it happen. Thank you.